Yes, y'all. This is Power Move, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. What it do, party people? This is Joel Sylvain, and the place to be here at Power Moves. Everybody's on Christmas break. We might have to take some time off. We've been taking some time off here and there between the holidays, Thanksgiving, and now we're going into Christmas. We just have one more guest next week, and probably the following weeks after that, we're just going to kind of mellow out, slow down, recharge, refuel, and re-energize. But at this present moment, you just have me today on Power Moves. What's going on with Joel Sylvain? Well, going into 2022, we got some announcements we're going to make. You're going to hear about some events that we're putting together. You see the bandana, the headband, that's right. It's the Tough Mudder. So just to let you know, for the past 8 weeks, I've been training and getting my mind right, getting my body right, getting my spirit right for this Tough Mudder race, a 10K that I did this past Sunday. I'm still a little sore from the experience, but it's been a great experience because, for 6.2 miles, 20 obstacles, going through it, persevering, sometimes feeling like you want to stop, but you realize you got to keep going, right? You got to keep going. So the theme of today's show, because like I said, we're in the twilight of the end of 2021, and 2021 has been a year that we can never forget, and a year that we can realize that, we got to be grateful for the opportunity for us to live and see another day, right? But at the same time, we have to maximize our time here, because if you don't maximize your time here, then why are you here? Are you really fulfilling your mission and your purpose? That's what you have to focus your attention on, is, are you really fulfilling your mission and your purpose? Some of us this past year may have, had a doctor's appointment and heard some news that we weren't really expecting, that might have shocked us, or we may have had family members that unexpectedly left us. And so we have to realize, what did we learn from that experience? What are we going to take away from it? How do we enhance our experience or our lives due to the loss that we may have, experienced or, went through? And so my encouragement, and as you go into this week, is, in order for you to make the right power moves so you can make this money is here for you, or you want to attract, the right type of power so that you can get the things that you need. And lastly, as you attract the power, then you gain that respect, because as you walk into the room with favor. You walk into the room with a glow. You walk into the room with a certain level of godfidence, not just confidence, but godfidence, knowing that, you have something to bring to the table that no one else can. And the only reason why you can is because you took the time out to touch into your power. You put in the work to make this money. And it's not about just the money. It's about making results. So what I want to share with you during this time that we have together is the importance of tapping into your power, and how do you learn to recharge yourself so that you can get the things that you deserve. Because the funny thing about it is, what people don't realize is that at the end of the day, everything and anything that you want in this life is already here for you. The question is, are you aware enough? Have you tapped into your resources to attract and get the things that you want? If you've noticed, as you know, I've interviewed friends, family members, or business associates on the past several years here on Power Moves. You know, the formula is somewhat similar, right? The formula is always somewhat similar. You know, people go through adversity, and really what they do is they don't give up. They just push through it. They push through it. So my question to you, what is the challenge or the obstacle that you're going through right now? And how are you pushing through it? One of the lessons that I would share with you from doing this Tough Mudder race is the importance of teamwork. So although you are running this race is by yourself, but there's other people that are running the race as well, and they're doing it by themselves. But when there's an obstacle, there's a hand reaching out to help you get forward, or there's someone running with you, and you're both encouraging each other to finish the race. You both encourage each other to handle the obstacle. You're both encouraging each other to fight through the pain. You're both encouraging each other to don't stop, keep going. You're both encouraging each other to say, I want to see you on the other side. So my question to you, as you're pursuing your goals, are you looking back to encourage someone else? Are you not even looking back? Are you turning around and saying, well, you know what? I just made it to the other side. Let me wait a little bit to see who else I could bring over to overcome this obstacle. Because this life, like I said, even though you as an individual, you're living it by yourself, but you're not successful by yourself. You know, you're successful because you stand on the shoulders of your ancestors. You're successful because there have been people along the way, teachers, mentors, people that have a vested interest in you, especially if you're successful. Now, if you're struggling, you have to be humble enough to ask for the help. You have to make sure that you understand where your weaknesses are and pursue and get that help that you need. Because as you strengthen your weakness and you also embolden your strengths, you will go so much farther than ever before. But once again, it all starts with tapping into who you are, knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, knowing where you're going. What are you doing? What's your purpose? What's your mission in life? And as you tap into that and understand that, then you will flourish. Trust and believe. I've been there, done that. I've seen it. You know, as you can tell from the guests that we've had on our show, if you check out some of our past episodes, you'll see the trend. And if you're taking copious notes, you can get some gems out of there and just be, you know, going into 2022, really flourishing. So what I really want to share with you today is the importance of getting some rest too. Because it's one thing to keep working. But then if you beat your body up so much, how can you truly perform at your highest level if you don't take the rest? Because even God said after 6 days, he's like, on the 7th day, man, we're going to rest. And he knows who we are as humans. that we'll like to keep working, but he knows we'll also get burnt out. So he says, you know what, you got to take a day off. And on that day off, I want you to praise me. Now, I'm not here to try to give you a sermon, to each his own. But understand this, though. It's a universal message that you work. If you work hard and then you rest, you'll be energized to go back to do your best the next day, right? You'll be energized to do your best the next day. So a couple of things I want to touch on, which I find very, very interesting, is I want to highlight a couple people from my walks of life and being in the music business and seeing how they've, started from one area and then look where they are today and staying true to who they are. So as an example, let's start with 50 Cent, Mr. Curtis Jackson, Mr. South Jamaica Queens, had it rough. Then all of a sudden, he was slinging, he was doing his thing. And the people he was dealing with was upset with him, shot him up, went to jail, came out of jail, was hungry. Now, the one thing that I know about 50 is that 50 was signed to Jam Master Jay at first, if I'm not mistaken, before he got with Trackmasters. And then after Trackmasters, then he ended up going with Chris Lighty and Dr. Dre. And once he had that album, he took off, right? The one thing you got to realize is before all of that, no one wanted any parts of 50 Cent. No record label. All he did his mixtapes. He created his own lane. He created his own customers. So when you want to think about it, how am I going to make this money? Let's talk about in the music business, especially now in the music business, right? Because right now in the music business, let me tell you something. The new mixtape, let me backtrack a little bit. So when we made mixtapes, we were on mixtapes, we put the money out ourselves and we would pay off, the Clues, the Envies, the, you name it, SNS, Caprice, my man Ron G, to play our records on the mixtape, to get known, because we knew on a Friday night, on a Saturday night on 125th Street or Jamaica Ave or Flatbush Avenue or driving down Ocean Avenue, people had their nice cars, went to the car wash or going to Green Acres Mall, the Double R, that's right. And they were blasting the mixtape. And on that mixtape was always the hottest joints based off of the opinion of those DJs. So if those DJs were playing it, then you knew it was hot. Okay? Now, at the end of the day, people weren't getting paid off those mixtapes. Right? They were not. But it was promotions so that when they put out the album, they were good to go. So on that note, we'll come back with the story because we got to go to commercial break. Once again, this is Power Moves with celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you after the break on In Touch News Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star.
so believe we 100. Down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay, call Ricky, he coming. He taking kids, state of Florida, grab a pin of sundown. 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-7425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, push your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky. It's a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and getting you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers on the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
Hi, this is Angela Birdsong with Tampa Bay Politics. And not only can you catch us on InTouchNews.com every Wednesday at 11 a.m., we now have a website at TampaBayPoliticsPodcast.com. We are on Apple, Google, Spotify, and Stitcher, which you can log in at any time and listen to Tampa Bay Politics.
All right, we back. This is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. All right. So, as I was saying, so back in the days in the music business, you use your mixtapes as your promotion. You wasn't getting paid off the mixtape. The people that was getting paid off the mixtapes were the entrepreneurs like the DJ, Ron G's, SNS, Kid Capri, Clue, Envy, et cetera, right? But because it was on the mixtape, it prepared people to buy the album, the singles, so on and so forth. And that's how you made your money. And then, of course, you created your audience so that now, if there's an event such like in New York, we had the Rucker tournament in the summertime. So you played ball at the Rucker tournament. You got to come in there. Everybody came with their nice whips or their nice cars, and they were showcasing, what they were doing, and they would hire some of the NBA players to represent their record labels. Bad Boy had a team. Rockefeller had a team. Def Jam had a team. Terror Squad had a team, Fat Joe had a team, all types of, and then that's how they promoted, their artists. Sometimes they would perform at the halftime. They'd be after parties, things of that nature. So that's how they created their buzz. I'm explaining this to you because it doesn't matter what type of business that you're in. Promotion is everything. Marketing is everything. Trying to be everywhere is where you want to be, right? And so let's fast forward to where we are today. The reality of the situation is streaming is now the new mixtape. The reason why I say that is you're not getting paid much for streaming. You're barely getting paid any publishing, and you're barely getting paid any mechanical rights. So therefore, when you put a record out on a streaming platform, you really got to just think of it as promotion. So you have to it has to be part of your signature. You have to just constantly tell people, hey, check out my single, play it over and over again, share with a friend. Let's do a party, whatever the case may be, because it's all about the awareness, right? Now, if you really want to make music, if you really want to make money in the music game right now, obviously the low-hanging fruit is performance, doing shows. Well, with COVID, this past year and a half, people weren't making money doing shows, so there was a lot of artists that were struggling. However, there were some artists that were setting up their own rehearsal studio or even their own little venue within their homes and then doing shows, online shows. That's one way to make money. Second way to really make this money, though, is, I had a great conversation with my man EA Ski, world-renowned producer, Grammy Award-winning producer, worked with Ice Cube, worked with he was Oakland's Most Wanted. He helped discover Master P. And what he's doing is he's putting out his record, but he's putting it out on something physical, tangible, which is a CD. He's created beats. So if you're looking for beats, go to EA Ski and buy his beats. $100, a USB drive, and check it out. The beats, the sounds are slamming, right? They're authentic. It got a warmth to it. But that's just how he's making money in the music business. He's not even selling records. So remember, I said the music business. I didn't say the record business. I said the music business. Music is notes. Music is production. Music is songs. Music is, full records, right? So he took a component of the music business, what he specializes in, which is production, and he's selling beats for $100 a unit. Now, check this out. In order for you to make decent money in the music business, you got to go platinum. The problem with that, though, with the old way of accounting, is that for you to go, you go platinum and you're a solo artist, you might see about $100,000. You might see $100,000 in mechanical royalties from selling those physical records. Yeah. You're not seeing $1 million. Don't get it twisted. You're not seeing $1 million because a lot of times they've already fronted. First of all, they gave you a ton of money, what's called an advance, to make the record, right? So let's say they gave you $1 million to make the record. Then they gave you money for the videos. And if the videos are very expensive, that might be another $1 million. Because if you have 4 videos at $250,000 a piece, another $1 million. So now you in the whole $2 million, right? You got to pay for staff. And basically the way it works is Michael Jackson was the only person that got $1 for every record that was sold. Everybody else gets approximately, it could range between 10 cents to, I think, 50 to 60 cents a record that was sold. And that's not even including what you have to pay back. So that's the reason why people are like, man, the record business is shady, blah, 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 blah. The reality of the situation, bottom line, is they front you the money up front. They got to pay for staff. They got nice buildings on Fifth Avenue. They got buildings all over the place, all over the world. They got distribution. This was back then. Now, distribution is digital. It doesn't cost much. That's why United Masters is a good option. You're hearing a lot of people talking about, man, go independent. There's pros and cons to that. You can only go independent is if you know how to be in business for yourself. You know how to get the bag, as what we say, in different other forms. Or you know how to get to the armored truck, is what my man James Cruz would say, right? You know, we don't want the bag, we want the armored truck, we want the bank. We don't want the bag, we want the bank, right? But nevertheless, you have to know how to deal with these people so that you can get access to the bank. You can get access to the armored truck. So going back to my analogy of, you know, streaming is promotions. The really way that artists are making money now is through shows. But if shows get shut down, how are you going to get paid? This is how you get paid. You have to come creative with your merchandising. Therefore, which means instead of selling your records and relying on streaming, now vinyl is back. Big time. Walmart, all the big retailers, because now we don't have record stores anymore. So all we have is Wally World, Amazon, and Target, Borders, Barnes and Nobles bookstores. I mean, Barnes and Nobles actually bookstores for the retail aspect. Kohl's, places like that for the retail aspect. And then now they're building, you know, these vinyl areas. And watch, trust me when I tell you, vinyl's coming in. So now that you're going to be able to sell something physical, because now people want something that they can touch and feel. So if, in my opinion, if I was an artist, I would tell them to look to get the money to press up vinyl, put the money into art direction, meaning make your album cover like something that people want to have. Like it has to be almost like a coffee table book. So that now it's like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm one of 100 people that have it. And guess what? If you make it a limited edition, you don't have to charge $10 for it. You can charge $20, $30, $40 for it. So if you're looking to make your money back sooner because you put it out of your pocket to do so, you can do it. Because think about it. If you're selling vinyl, and instead of selling it for just $10, and you sell it for, I don't know, I would say $50, right? You sell it for $50, but you make that album cover like something that no one has ever seen before. And you have the credits. In addition to that, you might say by buying this album, you're going to get a 10% discount when we come on tour, right? In addition to that, you complement that album and that 10% tour ticket when they buy it on Ticketmaster or Live Nation or whatever, or Rock Nation or whatever, and you think about merchandise. So this is Tough Mudder. They had this was free because I participated in it. It was about $100 to do the Tough Mudder race. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because Tough Mudder is done all across the country. Similar to like when you're an artist and you have a fan base, Tough Mudder's fan base is his own constituency. They follow what they do, and they're going to buy the merchandise for each state, each location to remember that event. Well, as an artist, if you focus on, you know what, I want each person, any place that I go to, they remember the event, they remember buying the album. That's how you exert your power. So once again, this is Power Moves with celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. We're going to see you after the break. Only on In Touch News Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
Hello, Tampa Bay. This is Ainsley Doe with Florida Realty Unlimited. As a broker with 15 years experience and a veteran of the Navy, I do understand your needs. Real estate prices are up. So if you're thinking of selling your home, call me for a free market analysis. If you're planning to buy a home, please call me for a free buyer's consultation. For more information, call Ainsley Doe at 813-546-1954. Once again, the number is 813-546-1954. Or check my ad out in the In Touch You.
All right, we back. This is Power Moves, with celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. So, as I was talking about the new game that you want to incorporate in this music business now, and I'm just using that as an example of really, let's think about, what do you want to do differently in 2022, right? So, as I was saying, in that, if you think about every stop that you make when you're doing a show, you want to be able to sell products. You want to be able to sell the experience. You want to be able to sell the feeling that people are connected to who you are and what you want to be, right? So, as I was saying, selling vinyl, getting back to selling posters, pictures, thinking about, what is my relationship with overseas in terms of, if you start paying attention to the clothes and the items that you buy, whether it's sheets, whether it's furniture, where's it made out of? A lot of times we think that a lot of things are made out of China. Yes, it is. But if you ever pay attention, sometimes things are made in Taiwan, they're made in Pakistan, they're made in Turkey, they're made in Morocco, they're made in all these different places. Now, instead of you using someone else to source it for you, why don't you do it yourself? Do the research and figure out, I'm putting this record out. Will this record or this song correlate very nicely with this particular product that I think people love and like? The product could be something as simple as a case for an iPhone, or it could be something as simple as, earmuffs. Earmuffs with, that connect to a phone. To hear people's music, whatever the case may be. But these are opportunities, or you might use some promo items with your name on it, and that's what your giveaway is, to entice people to buy your music, the physical copy of it, whether it's a CD, whether it's a vinyl, whatever the case may be, to just help justify why they want to spend $50 for that. Because think about it. There's 50 states, right, in the United States, and let's just say 100 people from every state buy this album, right, that you put out. 100 people, 50. So 50 times 100 is $5,000. $5,000 times 50 is $250,000. Now let me ask you this: do you know how much it costs to probably press a record yourself? And that means most of the majority of the profits go to you. Now keep in mind, that's also only, I said $50 times 100 people in each state. I think you could probably do more than 100 people to buy your album in each state if you do your right marketing and promotions. Just focusing on even a college tour, you could probably sell more records than that. So imagine, I just said 100. You add an extra zero in there, now that's 2.5 million. We went from 250,000 to now $2.5 million. Right? So there's money to be made, but it's all about understanding your value. And that's where power comes into play, is when you can understand the value that you can deliver to others, when you can kind of give people as much as you can and make them feel like that they're the king and the queen, then at that point, it's not going to be a problem. People spend $50 on nothing anyway. $49.99, that's nothing. $100, that's really nothing. See, that's what made Nipsey Hussle so awesome, is because he was in the grind all the time, and then he realized, you know what? I'm gonna sell as a business person, because now this money comes directly to me. There's no middleman. So that's why some people are touting, going independent. But you can only go independent if you have the right mindset and if you have the right team behind you. Because keep in mind, you can make this, like I said, if you sell 1,000 units at $50 a pop in 50 states, like I said, easily that's 2.5 million. Make you're a millionaire just off of one record, right? But then, even still, you're operating as a small business owner, so you got people to pay. You got to feed them. Now, granted, you're going to also make money off touring and things of that nature, but keep in mind, at the end of the day, this is your business. This is your value. This is your world. And because it's your world, you have to do what you got to do to make it to your number, right? You got to do what you got to do to make it to your goal. You got to do what you got to do to hit your expectation. You got to do what you got to do to understand and take inventory. Who are you? What are your strengths, like I mentioned before? Whatever your weaknesses are, you get somebody to help you on your weaknesses, but focus on your strengths. And as you focus on your strengths, you build momentum. And as you build momentum, then all of a sudden you can add that extra zero. Because as you add that extra zero, then that puts you in a whole different altitude that helps all your people that you are supporting and then yourself to get to that next level. Now, how does that correlate to, when we talk about, the music business? Well, how does that correlate to something else that you might be selling? Such as, you might be a person that's selling candles. I have a friend of mine that's in the music business, a record executive, and they got a candle business on the side. As a matter of fact, I have one of their candles going on right now. It smells delicious. I got the sand thing going on. And the reason why they're doing it is because, they want to have their own. They see how things are in the music business, which is fine. They're comfortable. But you know what? Nothing beats having your own. What they did, they set up a website. They told their friends and their family. They let them know that they have a business. And they've been marketing it. Now, this person doesn't market it as much. However, the quality of the product is phenomenal. It's a beautiful thing, and it works, right? So I say that to you to say that as we are wrapping down in 2021, take the time out. Some people say meditate. Some people say get into prayer. Some people say go to fast. All I'm saying to you is we're going into we are in the winter. What do bears do in the winter? They hibernate. They sleep. They ate real well in the summertime and in the fall, and now they hibernate and they sleep. They rest so that when it comes back down to the spring again, they're back on their grind, right? So I'm saying to you is whether you're working at a regular job and you're trying to figure out, how do I make 2022 my best year? Well, first and foremost, take inventory. What are my strengths? What am I really good at? Like when I close my eyes, it's like no problem. What is it that people know me for? And if you don't know that, then you need to start asking people, your closest friends, hey, what do you think I'm good at? What am I known for? What are my positive attributes? Now, on the flip side, you also got to talk about, okay, where are the areas that I need to improve upon? Because you cannot expect excellent results if you're only settling for half of who you are. You can only be excellent is if you know both sides of the coin. Your weak areas. Now, that doesn't mean that you focus your attention on your weak areas. It's just that you get the support that you need so that your weaker areas accelerate your strengths. And then on your strengths, you just need to just go into overdrive so that it propels you. So even though you might have some areas of improvement that you need to focus on, not focus on, but areas of improvement that you need to enhance, at the same time, your strengths are just carrying you forward. But you can only determine that and rock with that in 2022 if you've got to do the inventory and the work now to develop your power. Right? And then as you take the time out, then you put it into writing. As you put it into writing, you got to post it so that everyone can see it and you can see it and say, this is what I'm working on for 2022. This is who I'm going to look like. This is what I'm going to be. This is how I'm going to change. And then from there, watch the miracles happen. I guarantee you. If you're looking to transition from one job to the next, position yourself. If you're looking to start a new venture, position yourself. If you're looking to just add an additional income stream because you're going to go into an additional venture, position yourself. Prepare yourself for what's to come. Because that's the ultimate power move where you can take inventory, make an assessment, figure out what your areas of strengths are to accelerate that. But simultaneously, the areas that you need support, the areas of improvement, you highlight, which of those is the low hanging fruit that can easily turn into a strength, and then add that into your strength pile. And if you keep doing that every quarter, right? Because personally speaking, you yourself are your own boss. You need to do your own performance evaluation. So if you're going to make that power moves, once again, this is power moves. We got to go to commercial break. This is power moves with celebrities, athletes, key influencers, executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you after the break, and we're going to go into the respect segment and top this thing off. Only here on In Touch News Radio, reality radio where everyone is a star.
K-Car Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pin of sundown. 184-361 Rick. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, push your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361 Rick. Call Ricky, ask Ricky, the legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
In Touch Radio.
This is Joel Sylvain
and Kevin Carr,
and we're with Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives,
influencers
share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. Come join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Power Moves
on In Touch Radio.
All right, we back. This Power Moves, baby. Yes, sir. So, as I was saying, the ultimate power move right now is to take inventory. Know your strengths. Know your areas of challenges. Become your own boss. So if you're an employee, don't worry about what whoever your manager is, or supervisor is, or boss is, and wait for them to give you a review. Take that same tool and apply that to yourself. And say, you know what do I want to do? What are the goals that I want to make for myself? Because it's all about you, right? And take that same principle and sit down with yourself and be like, was this satisfactory? Did I exceed my expectations, or did I just meet my expectations? Where do I want to be? Because at the end of the day, what's really funny and interesting is, if you think about it, we all love the greater things in life. We all love a nice luxury car. We all love nice luxury clothes. We all love shoes, luxury shoes. We love furniture, all that good stuff, right? So technology, we want the best, but are you giving your best, right? And that's where respect comes into play. One of the things that I would share, I like to challenge folks, is why don't you do the research on Louis Vuitton? Just recently, we just had the movie, The House of Gucci, right? And that was a movie. Movies are cool, but there's an interpretation thing happening with the movies. Get the book. That's what I mean by, taking that self-reflection. Get the book. And as you read the bios of all these different people, a lot of us have Apple. They have an Apple, we have an iPhone, or we have an iPad, or we have an iMac, or a MacBook, or whatever. Well, do you know Steve Jobs' story? Have you read his book? His autobiography. We're all on Instagram and Facebook. Do we know the story of Mark Zuckerberg? Do we know the story of 50, the full story of 50 Cent? Do we know the story of a lot of these, the TV shows? Who's behind the scenes? And then ask yourself, how do they make money? What's their special talent? What gives them the power to do the things that they can do? 2, 3. How is it that they're able to command that type of level of respect? I guarantee if you ask those questions over and over again, when the things that you buy, like Nike, the Air Force Ones, the low tops, the high tops, the Converses, who owns these companies? What are their stories? How do they make money? how do they attract power and how do they earn respect? And how do I duplicate the same? Or is my story similar to theirs? Can I become the remix? Did this person work at a job and then leave their job to pursue their dreams? What gave them the courage to do so? Or if they did this out on their own, who did they learn it from? What did they do to put themselves in a position for success? And how do I align myself towards that same direction? Because remember this, success always leaves clues. There's nothing new under the sun. That's in Ecclesiastes. Like I said, I'm not here to preach. I'm not a pastor or anything like that. But I definitely do read my Bible. I definitely, believe in studying history. I took it for granted before. I'm not taking it for granted anymore. So I say to you, if you want to walk around in this life with swag, with respect, when you walk in and people do this, they give you that head nod of respect. That only happens when you have that confidence. That only happens when you know where your power lies. That only happens when you put in the work. Because as you put in the work, people can feel it. And then from there, everything else accelerates. So, we're gonna wrap this up a little bit earlier tonight. Not much. We're gonna wrap this up earlier tonight. And really what I want to share with you, we're gonna go in next week with our guest. She's a phenomenal guest. She's helping tons of women negotiate their value the proper way so that they can still be great mothers, be great wives, and still be a great executive without, biting people's heads off, basically. So on that note, I just want to share with you the last bit to just button this whole thing up, because we were talking about the music business, how to make money in it. On the respect side, a lot of times people are like, man, I can't get this person to answer my phone call. Or, they don't want to do this deal with me. Listen, the way you earn respect, not only in the music business, but in life, is you have to show and prove, right? So if you're already selling records, like I told you, and you figured out the math, and then you're already profitable, guess what? When someone sees someone making money, they're like, listen, how do I join you and make this money? Now, isn't that a much more powerful position to be than to be like, hey, I got all of these fans on social media. I just need for you to front me this money. You get most of it, and I get a little bit, and you get all my merchandising, my publishing, my this, that, and the other. There's no leverage in that. But when you own everything, you own the publishing, you're putting out the record yourself, you're selling the merchandising, all this money's coming in your pocket. The majority of it's coming in your pocket. Now when someone's coming to you, they're going to be like, listen, can we get a piece of the pie? Yeah, you can get a small piece. This is what I need from you. I need worldwide distribution, and I'll give you a small piece, because that's all you're worth to me, because I'm already making money. And that's where respect comes into play. So my challenge to you is, the next couple of weeks, enjoy your family. It's all about, this is the season of giving. Giving to your loved ones, your children, your spouses, your parents. And the biggest gift that you can give is your time. Time with your loved ones. But also, you got to give time to yourself to rest, recharge, rejuvenate, and re-energize. On this note, this is Power Moves, baby, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. I love you all. See you next week. Baby.